Happy Sunday! Today, I have my first book review. I'm going to be sharing a book review on The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I just recently read this book, and I figured I would do a book review on it because so many people have read it and loved it. So, let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Megan, and this is Booking It. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. I'm super excited and I love how fast I'm growing. I wouldn't be here still making videos if it weren't for you guys, so thank you for all your support and I look forward to growing my channel even more. The way this is going to work is I'm going to do a portion with summary that is strictly no spoilers for people who haven't read the book, and then I'm going to switch into spoilers and talking about the book in more depth. So if you haven't read the book or you don't want to spoil yourself, you can stop right there, and I'll let you know when the spoiler section is going to be. So, starting off with a summary, The Midnight Library is about a woman named Nora who is depressed. She ends up actually ending her life because she is so depressed, and it then takes her to a place called the Midnight Library. She sees a librarian there that she has always known. Her name is Mrs. Elm, and she is basically the director of the Midnight Library. Mrs. Elm explains that the Midnight Library is a place between life and death, where you can go into different versions of your life where you had made different choices. So the Midnight Library comes with a book of regrets, which is basically a book of everything that Nora has done in her life that she regrets. This lets her pick different lives to travel to see what would happen if she didn't make certain decisions. So she travels to different lives, some of them being like little tiny regrets, or some of them being bigger regrets, like a whole career change or being with a different man sort of thing. This is one of those books that I was told by like everyone to read. People on Facebook recommended it. People on Goodreads recommended it. It was on Good Morning America. It was the Goodreads like book of the year. This book has been recommended endlessly. So I was super, super excited to read it. But unfortunately, I was kind of disappointed. There are so many things to love about this book, like the concept, the character development, the just like differentiation in the stories that he shares, and the portrayal of mental illness. But there are also things that aren't so great in this book, such as the cliche, the way that the author kind of tells you instead of shows you things, and towards the end it feels a lot like a self-help book. Overall, I like this book a lot. I have a few minor flaws with it, but I gave it a 3 out of 5. If you have not read the book and you don't want spoilers, I am moving into the spoiler section, so you should leave now. But I want you to go read the book and come back when you've read it so we can discuss it together. So there are a few reasons why I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars rather than anything higher. The first one is that it's just a tad cliche for me, honestly. Like, we have the main character, Nora, who is depressed, and she obviously has a lot of regrets in her life, but I saw from the beginning that Nora was depressed and that she was going to regret killing herself, which does happen. About halfway through the book, Nora decides that she didn't want to die. So that was just like cliche for me. And I know that's a little nitpicky because I don't know how I would have preferred it to end, but it was just cliche for me in the way that like you have a depressed character that suddenly realizes they wanted to live. The other reason that this got a 3 out of 5 stars from me was that the ending seemed too like preachy. It almost felt like reading a self-help book sort of thing, which if that's what you're looking for, great. But like, I was just looking for a fiction story where you could travel to different lives, like kind of more of like a sci-fi or like fantasy sort of thing. Not that I didn't like the book, but the ending is very like, you have a purpose in life and you should live, and which is great for the right people, but not me. Now, on to things that I liked about the book. This book will pull you in from the beginning. From the beginning, it's a really interesting concept of like, what does Nora regret? Like, why does she choose to end her life? So that kind of pulled me in because I also wanted to see like the different lives. The different lives were also a reason that this book was so interesting. It was very interesting to see Nora go into these lives where she is basically looking at herself in a different life if she would have made different decisions. So like to see her with, you know, different husbands and different jobs, and is her brother alive or is he dead? Like that was really interesting to me. So the whole concept as a whole was very, very interesting to me, and that's what kept me reading. It's a very quick read. It's very fast paced. Once you get started, you probably won't put it down. The only reason that took me so long was because I read it with a book club and we read it by week. I also think that the author does a great job of describing depression and how Nora feels. And I actually found out that he has struggled with depression himself. So this makes a lot of sense to me as to why he is able to describe it so well. And from the beginning, he makes it very known that Nora has depression, but he is able to make you feel for her. Like, you feel like you're in her shoes. And you start to understand, like, why she might have ended her life, why she felt so insignificant. So I thought he did a really good job of that, and just showing the different feelings that Nora had and why she did what she did. And I do like the concept of her being able to go into different lives and see what would have happened if she wouldn't have made certain choices. All right, that is my review of The Midnight Library. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Overall, I would recommend this book. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but it definitely wasn't my least favorite either. If this is something that you're interested in, it is a great concept, and I liked it for the most part. I'm just kind of nitpicky. But overall, 3 out of 5 stars. Probably wouldn't read it again, but it was alright. I don't personally think it lived up to the hype, but maybe you will. The majority of people on Goodreads liked it. I mean, I did go and read different reviews just to see if like I was crazy, and a lot of people did like the book, so maybe you'll like it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you again for 100 subs. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!